friends, aliens, demons, and humans. This is Oblina, and I'm currently over 1,000 kilometers away from home in Canggu, Bali, Indonesia. If you're wondering why I'm here, it's because I thought it would be a genius idea to break out of my comfort zone and start having adventures outside of where I live. If you're hearing noises in the background, it's just my neighbors going around doing their daily tasks, driving around on their bike, and flowering and having fun, because I'm not living in a fancy resort or anything. I'm just plopped in the middle of a local neighborhood, and I like it that way because I want to experience Bali like they would anyway. You know, after a week or two of exploring around Bali, having fun on the beach, watching people surf, eating food, and cafe hopping, we finally got to this place where we're not allowed to leave our homes anymore, as this crazy disease is affecting everyone in the world, myself included. And also, since I can't go home, I have to find a way to entertain myself and keep myself sane. And also, there is no better time than now to start doing projects that we've been wanting to do for ages. For myself, it would be the O.W.L.s Readathon, which is this readathon inspired by Harry Potter books and movies, where they take their exams so that they can move on to their career in the future. For me, I thought I would go for the career of spell maker because it sounded really fun. However, I actually don't have any of my books here with me. I left my entire bookshelf and all of its contents at home. As such, over 2 weeks ago, I actually went online to try to buy all the books I would need to fulfill the prompts for this readathon. But not only is it not here, it hasn't even been shipped yet. Now it's April 2nd, and the readathon has started, and I pretty much have no books to fulfill my requirements with. I only have about 2 books, one that I brought from home and one that I sneakily went to the bookstore and purchased for this. So these are the 2 books that I have with me. I have The Secret History by Donna Tartt and another book by an author that I have never read in this life, but can't believe or forgive myself for not having read it as a book lover or somebody who is very into books since she was a young child. It's Stephen King, and I decided to go for this one because it's his latest book and sounded very freaking interesting to me. Can't wait to freak myself out with it. That's about all I have for now. And oh yeah, you know what's a very important thing for succeeding in readathons? It's freaking caffeine. And I don't have my coffee machine or press or pour over or even coffee beans right now to make coffee with. All I have are the instant ones that you can get from the supermarket. But anyway, if I have to, which I might have to, I'll probably invest in a Chemex myself. Anything to succeed in readathons, am I right? Oh, and also, I have actually been seriously slacking in my reading because I've been working online. Just for your information, my reading challenge is to read 20 books this year, but I secretly hope to get to like 40 or 50 at least. Let's see if I get there. And I'll update you on my progress with my prompts and the O.W.L.s Readathon. Can't wait to start! Hey friends, so I was rewatching some of the clips that I filmed the other day and realized that I definitely need to fill you in on more. See, I'm not technically stuck in Bali, as in I came for a holiday and now I can't go home. This was definitely a planned move, as in I sold all of my things back home and packed up my things in one luggage to come and stay here for a year. You know, to explore Bali, to get lost in it, to find myself maybe. But what I mean is I'm stuck now because 1, I can't go home, but 2, I also can't explore Bali outside since I have to stay indoors most of the time. And even then, I still don't regret moving here because it's still fun. So anyway, moving on, I need to tell you a little more about the readathon that I'm participating in, the O.W.L.s, O.W.L.s. It's a readathon that's organized by G from Book Rose. She has an entire video up on her channel about it if you're interested in participating as well. It's gonna go on for the entire month of April, so you have as much time as you want to squeeze in reading. See, there are a lot of options for it. Every career has different prompts you need to fulfill in order to qualify for it, and for every prompt you need to read a specific type of book. So for example, because I want to be a spell maker, I need to study for 7 subjects, aka read 7 books. But not just any 7, you know? There's a specific one, so I'm just gonna tell you because I can't remember just like that. Right, so For spell makers, the O.W.L.s that I have to study for ancient runes, arithmancy, astronomy, charms, divination, history of magic, and transfiguration. So, for example, if I'm currently studying for ancient runes, I'm gonna need to read something with heart on the cover or in the title. And for arithmancy, it would be to read something outside of my favorite genre, and so on and so forth, you know? So that's basically the entire idea behind it. And then once I finish up 7 of these O.W.L.s, I can participate in a NOICE, which takes place, you know, sometime later in the year. For the books that I don't have physically, I'm going to listen to them on audiobooks, which is something that I never used to do. I've never been able to get into audiobooks because I'm easily distracted and want to do something else. But right now, I'm actually super in love with it. I haven't read that many books yet though, probably around 2 or 3 audiobooks only. It's gonna be a fun time. And I have the most exciting piece of news to share with you ever. Remember last time I told you that I've been waiting for about 2 weeks or more for all the books that I ordered for this readathon that never came, even though the readathon has already started. We're technically on the 5th day of it and I've done no reading because I have no options and I am definitely a mood reader. Here it is. I got the freaking package and I'm so excited to show you what's inside. I'm gonna do an unboxing. I had to go all the way back to the old house to get it as quick as I could to make sure that nobody stole my package because I would be so heartbroken. You have no idea how excited I am. You know, I'm trying not to get to my books because I freaking hate it when books are messed up. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I am. Like when I go to the bookstore, I always try to find the best possible copy with no tears, no dirty parts, no messes. Yeah, I am that kind of a book collector. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I miss all my books back home. I have been wanting to, okay, this is Little Women, and I have been wanting to read the book ever since I saw the freaking movie. I mean, I read this as a child and I loved it. I remember loving it, but I'm excited to reread it. Next, I have this. Actually, I've been wanting to watch the movie, but I can commit the sin of watching the movie before reading the book. Let me show you what else I have inside. Whoa, they've really protected it real good. I love that. I'll forgive them for sending it to me so late, just for the fact that they wrapped my book out real good. Yeah, I'm so excited. Check this out. Woohoo! Not gonna pronounce this for you because you're gonna laugh at me. And House Moving Castle. Woohoo! I am so freaking excited. I love the Studio Ghibli version of this, and I've never read the book. Smells good. And the last one, the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I thought it sounded very interesting and it's very unlike anything I've ever read before. So, here are my purchases. For the readathon. Ooh, I'm so excited. They're so beautiful. And there is definitely a color scheme going on here. Check them out. Okay, I'll show them to you later. This is not going so well. Hope you enjoyed that. There will be more. Don't even worry about that. It's for sure. I can't live without books. Hey friends and strangers alike, I finished this book. I started reading it 2 days ago and I only just finished it last night at around 3 a.m. Yes, I stayed up to finish it, and no, it did not actually take me 48 hours to finish this book. I was just procrastinating, watching YouTube, watching videos, eating a whole bunch. I also made myself chococino. It's just an instant mix, you know, nothing as amazing as what they make in this book. They've described every type of chocolate drink, chocolate mixed with coffee, and it made me want chocolate so bad. I even bought this from the store. It's just a mediocre chocolate brownie from the local store because I knew that I would want chocolate so bad upon reading this book. Not too bad, but not amazing either. So I read this for History of Magic, which is the prompt to read a book featuring witches or wizards, and I think I give it around 3.5 stars out of 5. This book won't be for everyone because it is very descriptive. It talks about a lot of different places, culture, food. I tend to like stories about small towns where there is a cast of characters. They're very different from each other and they all have a very unique set of characteristics and issues of their own. Basically, this book is about a girl named Wynne. I hope I'm not saying that wrong, but I wouldn't know because I haven't seen the movie. And I'm actually very excited to see it because I've been waiting to finish this book before finally diving into that movie, which I will get to do tonight, so yay! Anyway, this is about Wynne and her daughter who moves into this little town named Lansquenet. Never been there, don't know if it even exists for real, but it sounds fun. It's a very small town with about a few hundred people, so everybody is all up in everybody else's business, you know? Like, they are always prying into what other people are doing and they try to shape everyone into the same mold. Like, you have to follow these set of rules, you have to attend church, you have to do what's right, and you shouldn't be different or unique from other people. They're all like dressed in gray clothes. The town is described to be a very boring, it's described to be a very boring place, like where all the people follow the rules all the time. And this girl, Wynne, is very different from everyone because she doesn't listen to anybody else's. She's not like, oh, they told me that I have to be this way, so I'm gonna do that. She's more like very daring and colorful. She laughs out loud. She talks to people even when they're not very responsive. She's polite and sweet. And she's amazing at making chocolates. She also has this unique ability to know what people are going through or have experienced simply by touching them a little bit. She is using this unique gift to try to help everyone in this town who might need it. People who are seeking for friends or a way out of a terrible situation. And I think it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that this is a book about good versus bad, evil versus righteousness, doing what's right versus what's wrong. But we all know that most of the time, there isn't a clear right or wrong or a very clear black or white situation in a lot of things. There is this priest who is very against Wynne. You know, it's like this. Example of the church is here and her chocolate shop is here. They're like directly opposite each other, so it's very easy for them to see what each other is up to. They think that the other person wants to do something bad to them, so they're both living in a sort of fear while going on about their activity. Her making chocolates for the people, encouraging them to do what they want in their life. For example, there's this girl who gets beaten up by her husband and everyone tells her that she should stay in that relationship because it's what's right, it's what God would want. They talk a lot about religion, but this is not a religious book. It has two different perspectives, one in which the woman does not believe in God or goes to church or anything like that. And another is about the priest who believes fully in God and thinks that he's doing whatever is right by his people in the name of his religion. Though sometimes it's important for people to check in with themselves on how they're going about doing that. Because you can't say, oh, I'm going to do this thing or this action, and because it'll be for the good of everyone, that is justified. Sometimes a bad thing is a bad thing no matter what you're doing it in the name of. This witch, Wynne, is trying to get people to stop being so strict with themselves and stop following rules and to just be happy because happiness is the most important thing according to her. Whereas the priest is trying to get everyone to do what's right, to come to church and then not go to the chocolate store because chocolate is such a sin, you know, to indulge in it is very wrong. Sometimes you can see in this book the priest is fighting with himself about what he's thinking and what he's doing, but he doesn't really know how to go about it. Like, he knows that he shouldn't be thinking this way or wanting something bad to happen to this lady just because he doesn't believe in what she's doing, but at the same time he really wants something to happen to shake things up and for her to leave so that his town can go back to normal, where everybody listens to him and lives their life revolving around the religion and the church rules. Right, so you know I'm not very good at describing books or talking about it, although I usually have a lot to say, and I do want to say a lot, but it's not as easy as you would think talking to a camera about what you think, especially when you're doing it for the first time. So I hope you guys are not too harsh with me. This is my first time, and eventually I'll probably warm up and enjoy talking to a camera, you know, seeing as how I don't really have a lot of friends here. I only had about a week and a half to go out and about to explore and make friends, and after that everyone is advised to stay in, and I have been staying in for most of the time except when I go to the stores to buy junk and food to sustain myself, although I really want to do this. So if you want to be friends, feel free to leave me a message or a comment, and I promise that I'll reply to every single one of them for as long as I can, you know, because probably nobody will, and all the people who will watch my videos are just friends and family members in order to support me. So anyway, I don't know which book I am going to read next yet and which prompt I'm going to try to fulfill, but I can only pick from any one of these books behind me because they're all that I really have. And if I really have to, I will drop by a bookstore because the local bookstores are still open for business, and I would like to support them if I can, because you know, everyone's having a tough time right now, having to close their businesses, and if they're not closed, it means that they have to open in order to survive. I think that I really have to try practice reading my books within days of starting them. I have this terrible habit of starting books and not finishing them. Like, I would start the book and be 3/4 of the way to almost finishing it, and I'll just abandon it and start a new book, and that is how I have about 20 books that I'm in the middle of and haven't finished reading. It's just a bad habit. It's either I don't want something to end because I know the world so well, or I am easily distracted and want to start something new, because there are just about a million books that I want to read, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to finish reading them in this lifetime. Trying my best to read more now that I have the time, but all my books are at home. I'll get back to you on what I think about the movie in comparison to the book when I've watched it tonight. There are actually quite a lot of quotes that I really enjoyed from this book. I have written down the page numbers in my phone. I would also say that you and she are entitled to your beliefs as long as they make you happy. And oh, what if it isn't an impertinent question? What do you believe? Magic carpet rides, rune magic, Alibaba, and visions of the Holy Mother, astral travel in the future in the dregs of a glass of red wine. Buddha, Frodo's journey to Mordor, the transubstantiation of the sacrament, Dorothy and Toto, the Easter Bunny, space aliens, the thing in the closet, the resurrection, and the life at the turn of a card. I believed them all at one time or another, or pretended to, or pretended not to. Me too. I wholeheartedly agree. I believed in one thing or another at all times of my life, and I think that that's what's fun about life, is that you don't have to be very strict about what you believe in or enjoy. So I think I take her stance on this one. Well, it is very good to police yourself sometimes in life. It's also very important to let go and enjoy. Eat that chocolate if you want to. Leave that stupid idiot who abuses you emotionally or verbally. Stand up for yourself. Do what's right. That's all I have to say. And I will let you know whatever I choose to read next and which prompt I'm going to fulfill. I didn't really participate in any of the talks or events that were going on for this readathon because my time zone is completely different from everyone else's. So by the time that something is happening, I might be asleep or I just didn't know about them. this is as much as I can do right now, is to read and try to fulfill my promise for my career. Oh, also at some point I'm probably going to like rewatch all of the Harry Potter movies. I'm very excited for that. I also want to show you some of the snacks and food that I got from the store in preparation for this readathon, but I have already eaten most of them, so bye guys! See you soon.